Why, hello there, everyone. How's it going? This is going to be a video about Arkansas payroll, actually. If you have a business in Arkansas or employees in Arkansas and you want to know how do you figure out the amount to withhold from their paycheck, we're going to do a pretty quick video to show you how this Google Sheet file works. This is it's a payroll application in Google Sheets that calculates your payroll and keeps track of all your reporting and everything for a small business, and you can fit hundreds of employees in here. And let's just talk about Arkansas real quick because it's really not that complicated. So in Arkansas, you're going to have your employee fill out a form AR4EC. It's the Withholding Exemption Certificate. It's going to ask them some questions about whether or not they claim themselves for an exemption, what their status is. They'll put 2 exemptions here. If they have any children or dependents, they'll put that there. And you'll add it all up and you're going to get a number of total exemptions. And that's the number that you put right here under total exemptions when you look at an Arkansas employee. It could be as many as it's going to be. As soon as you put the exemptions there, you don't have to fill out Arkansas filing status. You don't have to fill out a filing status for Arizona either, but you don't have to fill out a status. It doesn't need one. So when you're looking at just the state information there, all you need to know is really the number of exemptions. And when you calculate your gross wages for the pay period, and then eventually you annualize it, which is what Arkansas does, as we talk about how you actually calculate the tax. So once you figure out what your annualized wages are for the employee, take their per pay period wage, multiply it by the number of pay periods in the year. So this is a weekly file that we're looking at right now that pays every week. And this person's going to make $138,200 overall. It's actually $140,400 that they would actually make in the year, because you also have to subtract out the standard deduction. That's part of the formula for Arkansas, is you have to reduce everyone by the $2,200 standard deduction for the year. That's where you get this $138,200. Then there's a formula here, and this is what the formula looks like. You can go purchase a subscription to this Google Sheet and have all 50 states when they're completed, which will be very soon, and access payroll payroll formulas for all those states. So this is the formula. It basically is a layered tax rate formula between 0, or if you make under $4,700 a year, you don't pay any tax. But then there's 2% all the way to 5.9%. 2%, 3%, different layers of tax. This is what the formula is. It's a nested if formula there. You can zoom in on it, but really just want to have access to it. And that's going to figure out how much tax you would pay on an annual basis for this amount of money. And then you just divide that by the number of pay periods in the year, in this case 52. But you also have to take out, there's a standard Arkansas exemption amount that's related to those number of exemptions that you claimed on this form here, right? This total number of exemptions. You have to multiply that by the $29 per one it is, basically, and then divide it by the number of pay periods in the year to get what your actual amount is. And that's what this formula is right here, to figure out how much tax is due. And that is basically how you calculate Arkansas state tax. And so if you change any of these things, you'll see how your withholding changes. It's $140 right now. Well, what if this person had 5 exemptions? They got a lot of kids. What changes? This dropped by a couple bucks, a little bit. Didn't have too much of an impact. If they make a different amount of money, then this is going to change dramatically. But that is basically how you calculate it. So yeah, that's Arkansas. Pretty simple formula. These are the links to the forms. You just have a pretty simple AR4EC form, and then you could go through all these formulas, or you could just copy them from the Google Sheet because it's working. So that is payroll in Excel, Arkansas business. $100, you can get this file, run this thing for your whole business. It's got all the reporting functions in here. You can see what all your reports would look like. Your Arkansas state report would be right here. And it'll show you what the withholding tax is. There also is a supplemental, I believe, Texarkana tax, and I haven't added that in yet. So I can research that if anybody lives in Texarkana, or next time I go through there, I'll ask somebody what that supplemental tax is if I can't find it online, and add that in here as well. So good luck, everyone. Payroll should be easy. So we're making it so. We're making it so in the Ozarks and all over Arkansas. I've been to Arkansas last year. I did a video from the Ozarks, but I didn't talk payroll with anyone. Maybe next time I go through, I will. So, all right, guys. Payroll should be easy. We're making it so.